Welcome back to my channel. It's really bright outside. Um, a channel in which we set too high of goals for ourselves, apparently. Oh, so if you watched my February TBR video, um, I set 12. I set a goal of 12 books that I wanted to read. Yeah, I read 3 of them. I only read 3 of them. Oh my god. So yeah, this is gonna be my February wrap up of the books that I read, which was only 3 of what was on my TBR. I knew I was being too ambitious, but I didn't realize how ambitious I was being. It's like, I read 6 books in January. I can write 12 in February. Just kidding. Yeah, so let's get into it. I have a little thing of crap about the book. So the first book that I finished was Eve the Awakening by Jenna Moreci. I started reading that book at the end of January. So that book was kind of a cheat, but I had mixed feelings about that book. I really liked a lot of it. There's just one big thing that really bugged me was it took forever for me to read it. I loved the plot. I loved everything that was going on in the book. I loved all the fight scenes. They were amazing. Everything was very well descriptioned, like you could imagine everything that was happening, but since everything was so well described and everything, the book droned on in a lot of parts. Where like the part was necessary for the story, but everything was described. So yeah, if you ever heard of Eve the Awakening, it's about a girl named Eve who's a Chimera, which is like an advanced human species that has the power of telekinesis, and people shun them and treat them badly for their powers. A lot of people like repress it and like pretend like they're regular humans and stuff so they don't get hated on. And Eve goes off to college. Yeah, she goes off to college, and then there's these things called interlopers, which for the longest time didn't do anything really, but now they're attacking Chimeras, and so it turns into like a big problem at the school because like people are disappearing and they're like attacking Chimeras and crap. It's a cool book. I gave it a 5 out of 5. No, I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. And not it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I loved half of it, and I hated half of it. But the only reason why I hated half of it was because it took me forever to read. Like, I usually can read a book in like 2 or 3 days, and it took me like a week to read that book. And it was really frustrating. But I also really liked it, so I don't know. I have big mixed feelings on that book. If you read my Goodreads review, you also will see that I had mixed feelings on it when I was writing my Goodreads review. Okay, moving on. The second book that I read this month, which it was a reread of Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I was rereading this book because I wanted to read the book Carry On, which is the fan fiction that the girl in this book writes. And I didn't get to reading Carry On, but I did reread Fangirl. I read this in like a day. I love this book. There are some flaws in it, because every book has flaws. It's very cheesy, but when I first read it, it hit home really well. When I read it like my freshman year of high school, so that was like 5 years ago, and it really hit home then, and so this book has a special place in my heart. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. 4 out of 5 stars had originally been what my review was on it, but I actually wrote a review this time instead of just giving it 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, Fangirl. If you don't know what Fangirl is about, it's about this girl named Kath that is she is a big fan of this book series called, it's about Simon Snow, which is pretty much like a spin-off of like what Harry Potter would be for us. And she writes fan fictions for it, and she ends up going like off to college and stuff, and it's about her working with her, dealing with family problems and her anxiety with college, and writing her fan fiction. So, yeah. It's a big book. But that's Fangirl. And then the last book that I read, oh my god, I hated this book, was The Heartbreakers by Ali Novak, which I was really upset that I didn't like this book because I read her book My Life with the Walter Boys, which is on the back right here. I read that book and I liked that book. So I was upset that I didn't like this book. I had high expectations since I already liked her writing. I also like destroyed the book and pages were falling out, so I had to like tape them back in. I don't know what happened, but like the spine started to break at the end of when I was reading it. But yeah, this book is about a girl named Stella who, holy hell, my cat just fell off the cat tree. You okay, Milo? Him and his brother are fighting each other. So this book is about a girl named Stella who, she's a triplet. It's her sister, and her brother. And her and her brother go to a CD signing to get stuff signed for their sister for their birthday. And she runs into the lead singer of the band, the Heartbreakers, in a coffee shop. And then after, she doesn't realize that it's the guy from the band because her sister likes, it's so dumb, because like her sister's obsessed with this band, and like her entire room is like plastered in posters of this band, and she runs into the guy in the coffee shop and doesn't recognize him. But I feel like if my sister's room was constantly covered in posters, I would at least be like, hey, you look familiar. But she didn't recognize the guy at all. And then she ends up running into them again later, and then realizes that when they go to the CD signing, she realizes that the guy that she ran into in the coffee shop was the lead singer of this band. And then, yeah, a bunch of other shit happens. I don't know. I didn't like this book. I think the main reason why I didn't like this book was because I didn't like the main character, and her name's Stella. I didn't like her. She was really like bitchy and whiny the entire time, and like was trying to like make all of her decisions based off the fact that her sister has cancer, but like wasn't making any decisions for herself. And then it was like, I don't know, like I feel like because at one point she gets stuck in an elevator with the whole band, and she like goes off on them and like tells them that their music is like shit and stuff. And I feel like even if you didn't like the band, they're these famous people that you don't know, and like you don't know anything about them, and just because you got cut off in their CD signing line, you're gonna automatically assume that they just don't like their fans and stuff. And it's like she goes off on this like rant and like yells at them in the elevator, and then I don't know. I just think I just didn't like her. I didn't like Stella. I think the other reason why I didn't like her is because she's like the epitome of the I'm not like other girls girl. Part of her reasoning for what she does is because since her and her sister are identical twins, and then her brother is fraternal, so her and her sister look exactly alike, but they're like triplets because the two of them are identical and then one of them's fraternal. And so her sister look like exactly alike. So she decided that to set herself apart from her sister, she got her nose pierced, and she has like a blue streak in her hair. And she literally is like it's supposed to be to help her separate her identity from her sister, but it really just comes across as like, I'm not like other girls, and I'm cool because I have my nose pierced and I have blue streak in my hair, and I just thought it was annoying, and I thought she was annoying, and I hated her narration. And there's a second book called, what's it called? Paper Hearts? Something. Where is it? Is it not in this book? Maybe it's not. The Paper Chronicles. That's what it is. It's not in here. There's no, like, preview of what the second book is in this book. I bought this book a long time ago, so I don't even think the second book was a thing when I bought this. But, there's a second book. I won't be reading it. I gave this book a 1 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Mainly because of Stella, but also because, like, you get, like, halfway through the book before, like, the actual, like, plot part, like, starts, and I don't know. I don't really think the synopsis on the back does any justice to what actually happens in the book either, because, like, it kind of, like, describes up to, like, this point in the book, and then, like, this half of the book is, like a whole nother thing that is just, like, a surprise. It's like, surprise, this happens, but, like, our synopsis only told you about this half. I don't know. Ranting. I don't know. I keep saying I don't know, because I really don't know. I don't know what to do with this book. I don't want to throw it away because, like, someone else might like this book, so maybe I'll, like, donate it to the Goodwill next to my work or something, but I will not be keeping this book. It is, I don't know if you can see that. I had to tape this part back in because these pages fell out, and I don't know why they fell out. I don't know if maybe it's because it sat on my shelf for too long, and like the glue, like, separated from the back. I don't know. When it first happened, my automatic thought was, like, it's a shitty book because it's a shitty plot, but that's not it. I don't know. No offense to Ali Novak. If you watch this, I doubt she'd watch this, or see this. Fergus, can I help you? Come marching in here meowing. But, yeah. So, I only read 3 books this month. I wrote down, where was it? I wrote down I read, like, a total of, like, 1,500 pages or something. They were all pretty lengthy books, and my average star rating was, like, 2.5 on Goodreads out of my 3 books, if you like statistics. Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you like these types of videos, please like and comment below. Also, comment below any books that you think that I should read. I'm running out of books on my shelf, and I need a reason to buy books from Barnes & Noble. But please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like these. I post bullet journal, book, and writing type videos. Also, the random whatever the fuck I want videos when I feel like it. Yeah. Bye!